What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Morello Show, episode number 12. Again, don't have enough fingers for it anymore, but it's okay. Before we get started here, I forgot to mention this, though, on the last episode. Happy Pride Month. We are in June. June is Pride Month, so happy Pride Month to everybody celebrating. Completely forgot to mention that last week. That's completely on me. But we do have a very special guest here that I would like to introduce, and he goes by Martin. And Martin, how you doing?
What's good, everybody? I'm out here. It's a
That's right.
beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. We've had some insane weather lately. I'm sure it's been the same in Philly too, but in West Michigan it's been hot, it's been sunny. It's been great. It's been great. But all right, let's get into this. So Martin, why don't you I know what you do obviously, but why don't you tell the people exactly what you do, what you're getting involved in here.
Well, I am a artist, producer, singer, songwriter, DJ, recording engineer, and I also like long walks on the beach. That's the most important part.
That is the most important part. But all right, so you do a lot then. You do a lot then. I know one of the main things you do though is DJing. You've been in and around Philly and stuff. You've been linking with the people that I know, Miguel, not Justin, Nick, your other. Seems to be a common theme with the artists I bring on, but there's good reason for that. How did you like either with DJing or music in general? How did you kind of get started? Like, what was the spark that lit the fire?
It's gonna be a long-winded answer. You
Go
can
for it.
cut me off at any point, but you know, music I feel like has been embedded in my DNA. My grandfather, he had the biggest passion and love for music on this earth. I was at his house recently, not that recently, it was pre-pandemic, but
It all gets blended together.
exactly, it just time, not real.
Exactly.
And he has so many vinyl records. He's the biggest like sound system in his basement, and showing me all these records. Like, I have the first edition of all these, none of that second garbage. And I was like, you're funny. Like, got like these Bowie records, all these first edition Jackson record, and like even deeper, like cooler stuff than that. But it's sick. He has such a passion for music, and he really spread that to my mom and her like 11 other brothers and sisters. And I feel like my mom really gave that to me. My mom doesn't sing or like play any instruments, but there was just a love of music that was passed on, and it came at such an early age of just me singing songs at the top of my lungs in the car. um, I think the next level of growth for me in my musical journey was when Guitar Hero came out for the Nintendo Wii.
Phenomenal
um,
game.
Great game. It's funny, when I got it, I was kind of like, I don't even know if I want this. And then I played it, and I played it a beat in like a day or two.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I want to learn to play guitar. I want to be a rock star. And that's like what started sparking me into actually doing music things. And I kept pressing my parents. I was like, I want a guitar. I want a guitar. And then we moved, and they were like, if you want a guitar, you have to do a band instrument, because it was the year that like band started.
All right.
I was like, "Ah, okay." And I picked up the trumpet,
No
put a lot of
way.
work. Yeah,
Trumpet player.
trumpet's my first instrument. Are you a trumpet
I
player?
am a trumpet player. Not many people know that. But yeah, I'm a trumpet player. Now I haven't. So when I moved to Michigan, I didn't bring my trumpet with me because I didn't want to annoy the piss out of my roommates. That I didn't know. So there was that. But yes, I played. I played. Sorry to interrupt, by the way, but I played from fourth grade through 10th grade. I was in jazz band, wind ensemble, like honors band. I was actually pretty decent. I don't really talk heavy that much, but I was. I was so solid. Then I picked it back up again around a year, like beginning of my senior year of college. I brought it with me to school and played it a decent amount at school until the pandemic happened, and then I haven't really picked it up a ton since. But yes, I am a trumpet player, bottom line. So that's cool. I didn't know that you played.
Yeah. So trumpet's my first instrument. Put a lot of work on that thing. My first instrument besides the recorder, but the recorder doesn't count.
Right. Right.
um, so trumpet, and then my birthday that following year, I got that guitar. Get to middle school, and I started, well, actually, before middle school, I started like writing songs. They're absolutely terrible, but they were songs. I remember my first song was called Hey Beautiful, and it was
Hey,
just like,
beautiful.
Hey Beautiful, I want to see you, I want to be with you. Like, just
Right.
terrible rap. But it's all about the start. I get to middle school and then I start rapping. So it's trumpet, rapping, a little bit of guitar. I get to high school and I start in I at this point I live in New Jersey, and in New Jersey, around the early to mid 2010s, there was a bolstering teen club scene. Like someone would rent out this club, they would take all the alcohol out of the club, and like 14 18 year olds allowed in. It's a whole thing. It was huge.
Damn.
People throwing it were making bank. um and I ended up going to one off, just like someone's like, you want to go? And I was like, sure, sounds like fun. And I really just kind of like fell in love with like the music I was hearing, because there was a bunch of stuff I had never heard before, like electronic music and just like Jersey club music. And I think I went a couple times and I started promoting these events. And I started becoming friends with all the DJs. And one night I'm talking to one of the DJs, and I was just like, so like, where do you get all this music and stuff? I didn't know about SoundCloud at this point. And so I was like, where do you find all this music that you're playing and do? Like, I really want to learn. And he's like, why do you want to do this? And I was like, because I think it'd be fun. And he's like, that's not a good enough reason. I was like, okay, well, music is one of the most important things in my life. It's gotten me through a lot of hard times. And it's the one thing that I can rely on and that really means something to me. And I think that it would be really dope to learn how to express that through DJing. And he told me, go figure it out.
He really hit you with
And
the figure it out. Oh man.
yeah, but I did, which is cool.
Yeah.
As as funny as that was, I I started learning, and by that was, I would say, late freshman year, maybe. I think that was late freshman. And then by junior year, I was able to play a New Year's Eve party at this club. And
Damn.
they liked what I did. Then they brought me back the next month, and then the next month, and the next month. And by that summer, I had a pool party residency. I had two club residencies that were every other week. And there's a third thing that I forget. Um, it's been a while. I'm
Yeah.
old.
That happens.
There's that. And then that summer, I got to play my first music festival. It was called Electric Adventure in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Really awesome. Headliners were like Dylan Francis, G-Eazy, Big Gigantic, Ty Dolla Sign.
You're kidding.
Very,
Wow.
very big 2 day festival. I was ecstatic about playing it because my first concert as a kid was Electric Adventure at Six Flags in 2013, and then I played that festival in 2015.
Comes full circle.
It was an insane and special moment. Um, After that, I played a bunch of clubs in New York, played a few big concerts, and just like really started to make a name for myself in DJing and all that. And that's kind of the DJing background.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then to wrap it up quicker, I started writing music seriously at the like summer leading into my freshman year of college. And once I got to college, I just started producing. I would make like 3 beats a day, just to get my skills up and like really just put in the hours and the time. And yeah.
Damn. Well, speaking of college, first of all, I forgot to mention this too. Congratulations. You just graduated college. Saw that the other day. So congratulations are in order for you. You went to Drexel, right?
Yeah, I actually graduated at the class of 2020, but this ceremony they brought everyone,
Oh,
which was
okay.
awesome because Drexel has a lot of 4-year and 5-year students.
Right.
And because of how everything happened, everyone that started in the year 2016 was at this graduation. So
That's
everyone
awesome.
I ever started with that chose to come back, because a lot of 2020 people didn't come back for the ceremony, but others were
Right.
like, I get to see everybody again. It was amazing. And
I'm
it,
sure.
it was the day that Philadelphia reopened to fall.
Right. That was Friday, right? Or
With
the
that day,
11th? Yep.
yeah. So it was pandemonium, and it
I'm
was
sure.
an incredible time.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm also class of 2020, but I went to the TU here. And we did not have an in-person replacement graduation. Um, so that stinks. And I really wish we did because I didn't get to walk across stage and I would have loved to. We had an online one in like January, but like obviously not the same. But yeah, just wanted to make sure I say congratulations to you before I forget. So congratulations on that. What exactly did you study music at Drexel?
Yeah, music industry major with a minor in business administration.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so you got the whole 9 yards there.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So then now I guess we'll catch up. We had heard your history. We'll catch up to the present day. Um, you're in Philly now. Were you born in Philly? Were you? I know you said you moved a couple times.
Born in Chicago,
Oh, okay,
uh, raised right outside. I consider Chicago my home,
okay.
and I consider Philly my second home. But I've been around the country a little bit.
There we go. Okay, I've been to Chicago one time. It's a couple months ago. Beautiful, beautiful city. But yeah, so you moved to Philly. And then now how I know you is you were started this group called Philly Creators, with you and a few other people. Would you want to kind of explain that a little bit? How you guys got started on that?
Well, Philly Creators is a collective of creators that want to just spread creativity around Philly and then the world over. Um, we're just a bunch of like-minded individuals that are working really hard and have our own visions and want to be able to lift each other up and just bring it to you and everyone. Um, I forgot what I was going to say after that. That's what Philly Creators is in a short. Um, yeah,
Little nutshell there. Little
in a
nutshell.
nutshell, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know one of the big things that you guys do is the pop-up concerts where you're at the Rocky Steps, sometimes you're at Drexel. I think you've been one other place that I'm blanking on right now. But how did you, well, like for me, for instance, obviously I'm Miguel's manager. That's something that we had talked about for the last couple of years, but never really, well, one, we had a pandemic, which we had to deal with. But two, we never kind of really got the ball rolling as much as we wanted to on that. We did it one time before our one concert last March before the shutdown. How did you guys kind of determine that was going to be one of the main things that you guys do? And, I guess talk about like the consistency you guys have in continuing to do so.
Um, I don't know everything about him trying to attempt to do it prior, but I think one thing that's very important when you are trying to do things out here in these streets. Now,
In these
one thing that's
streets.
very important is having the right team. And I think I think Miguel has been putting a lot of time in trying to find the right people to build with. And when me and him connected, it was just a brotherly bond. And I think after we were like, you and I were family, we also realized that together we can make all of this happen. And so having the correct team and all the working parts that you need to make something happen is very important. And like we've been doing a couple pop-ups. now the city is open, and some of the things that we need to get done are getting done. We are about to make them even more consistent, and we may be popping up in a lot of places people do not expect.
I know a little bit about that, and I'm not going to share at the moment, but yes, it is. There are some exciting things ahead for the Philly creators. And then I guess, back to you a little bit. I know I see you DJing all the time at the one club that I'm blanking on the name of. I guess, is that something that you want to continue to do in the future, like keep doing clubs and other events like that? Is there more that you want to accomplish further on? To kind of take me through that.
Yeah, I mean the clubs are very fun, and it's a good time. There's nothing like DJing for a crowd of people, and the energy that they give you, the energy that you push back into them. Being able to control a crowd is one of the funnest things to do, whether it's in a club of 100 people, a room of 5 people, or a stage of 10,000, 20,000. But I see myself a bit down the road taking more of an artist route and performing to hundreds of thousands of people. And so I've been putting a lot of work on my artist project and just working on a lot of unreleased stuff and getting everything in order. That way I can continue to push on that door.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question too. Because you did mention that you were into songwriting and recording, producing, and all that. Do you have anything yourself coming out soon? Is something we could be
Um,
excited for?
I have a single that will hopefully be coming out soon. I just have to make sure everything is in the correct place. A lot of work going in on this one. It's also featuring an incredible artist, and I'm waiting for her to send her vocals so we can wrap that song up. So I
Good.
don't want to say too much at this current point, but
Yes.
as long as it all comes to fruition, I think I got the song of the summer ready for you
Now
guys.
that's a bold take, Martin. Now
As
that's a
long
bold
as it,
take.
as long as it comes out when I want it to, it'll be the song of the summer.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence. That's awesome. And I guess in terms of like projects too, are you working on anything particular with that or just singles right now?
It's just gonna be singles for a while. I definitely have some songs that are in the back burner that I'm like, this will be for an album, but I don't want to say I'm working on an album. There's definitely like a few that are just like you're in the album, goodbye.
Right.
I'm holding the heat. I still got heat, but I gotta hold a little bit, you know.
You got to make people wait a little bit. You can't give them all the best stuff right off the bat.
I might perform a few of them just to make people want them, but they won't get them.
That's a good call. That's a good call. Yeah, I guess, with you DJing and stuff, I guess it's pretty easy to like preview new music for not even just you, but like people you work with, right?
Yeah, that's the nice part about it. Like you have as a DJ, you got a huge platform where you can really play music out for people, throw them on the club. Me and a couple of my DJ friends have played like Who Over Us in the club like
Yes, I've seen that.
so many times. It was just recently on radio, and like we're pushing that song a lot. About to push a new single for I'm not sure if I can say, but we're
Don't get
pushing
anybody in trouble.
exactly. We're pushing out records, trying to get them in the ears of the people, and it's very exciting stuff.
Good. Good. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing the work you guys put in. It's second to none. So keep that up. Keep that going. And I guess, final, thing we can touch on here, I think we can get into. We talked about kind of how you got started in music a little earlier and, what kind of drove you to that. But when you think about, a few years down the line, like what is your goals as a producer, a DJ, an artist? Like what are your what's kind of keeping you going too?
I think what really keeps me going at the end of the day is getting to the point where I can take care of my family and all my friends. I do this music thing because I love it, but I want to be so good and so proficient and so great at it that I don't have to worry about a thing in my life besides continuing to work hard. Because I love working. I've fallen in love with the process, and I think that's the most important thing.
You have to. That's what I always tell everyone is like, you can always like dream for your destination and stuff, which I'm sure you do too. I'm sure you have goals, which you can get into in a second here. But like the part where you're at now, where it's like you're young, you're figuring stuff out, like, and same with me, obviously, like it's exciting. It's fun. Like this is what it's all about, really. So
Yeah,
yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but continue.
no, you're good. But yeah, I see myself being a jack of all trades. I really want to, put out a number one album, top the charts. I want a Grammy, and then I want to also go into acting, and I really would love to have an EGOT on me. I that's the big dream of mine, and a lot of work needs to get put into that. Um, but I believe I can make it happen, and we're just setting the foundation now. I think that Philly creators and the whole team, all of us are going to really put in a whole new world order and take over. And you're early on the train to watch it happen. That's going to be very exciting.
Yes, I've had a front seat for a little bit and can't wait to keep on it. And hey, going to the top, it's only up. So yeah, it's crazy to see the work you guys put in, but I know it's paying off. So, continue to do you, especially your own individual stuff too. Continue to do you. And I'm excited to see you, man. I'm excited to see what you do. So, yeah, Martin, thank you so much for coming on. Very, very much appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in as always. I'll always love the support that I get. I know it's not always easy turning into a show that not many people know about. It's not popular, but appreciate you guys tuning in. And then next week we have one of my coworkers at Fox 17, Zach Herrig, big sports guy. He's gonna be coming on. We're gonna be talking some sports. There's been some things in the Michigan area that haven't been so great lately with sports, which I'm sure we'll get into, both on and off the field. So that'll be fun next week. Martin, again, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it, and appreciate you all as always. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
All right.